Mercenary Tyler Rake is bleeding out in the middle of the firefight. As he takes cover against a car, he remembers. In Mumbai, India, teenager Ovi Mahajan Jr. is the son of the biggest drug lord in India, who is currently imprisoned. One night, while with his friends at a club, men dressed in police uniforms shoot his friend and kidnap him. Mahajan's Lieutenant Saju Rav goes to see him in prison to tell him the bad news, and Mahajan Sr. tells Saju that Ovi's kidnapping isn't about ransom, it's about humiliating him. He demands Saju go into Ace's compound and extract him, which Saju says would take an army. Mahajan tells Saju if he doesn't get Ovi back, Saju's son won't live to see his next birthday. Saju goes home to his young son and wife Nesa and tells her that since the police have frozen Mahajan's assets, he's the only method Mahajan has to get Ovi back. Saju tells Nesa he knows someone, but his price will be far out of Mahajan's range. Nesa tells him to do whatever he has to do. In Kimberley, Australia, Tyler is having beers with friends on a cliffside and leaps off the cliff into the water below, shocking his friends. When he gets home, Nick Khan is waiting for him. She tells him about the extraction job and that it's a complicated one, and Tyler agrees to take it. Nick watches, concerned as Rake drinks and takes pills, and decides it was a mistake to come to him, thinking he has a death wish. He insists he just needs the money. She agrees to take him to the job as long as he shows up sober. Tyler and Nick travel to Dhaka, Bangladesh, and meet with their team and get the intel on the extraction. Tyler goes into the city to meet with the ransomers, and they cover his head and load him into a van. When he is unmasked, they demand the money. He refuses without proof Ovi is okay. One of them holds a gun to Tyler's head and pulls the trigger, and he doesn't even blink, having already noticed there is no magazine in the gun. They show Tyler Ovi, bound and gagged but alive, in another room. With an assist from his team of snipers, Tyler then violently takes out the kidnappers, sparing only a child soldier who he urges to leave. He frees Ovi, and the two make their escape from the building. Asif has one of his henchmen throw young children off the roof to their deaths until one of them confesses to taking his money. A young teen, Farhad, says it was the child he just threw off the building. Asif applauds his cleverness, then tells him to cut off 2 of his fingers, since the thief is dead, and he needs a reminder to everyone not to steal from him. Before Farhad cuts his fingers off, Asif is informed by a colonel that Ovi is no longer captive. Farhad is spared, and Asif orders the city and all transport out of shut down. Tyler films a video showing he has Ovi with him, then begins taking him with him to the extraction point, where a few members of the team are waiting to meet him. However, at the Nick and the team's command headquarters, they do not receive the funds they were supposed to be transferred upon receipt of the video. The rest of Tyler's team waiting at the extraction point are ambushed and killed by Bangladeshi police. One of the squad of armed men chasing them turns out to be Saju, who beckons Ovi to come with him. Ovi wants to go, but Tyler throws a grenade and takes Ovi away with him. Tyler and the police have a long and winding car chase, which then leads to a foot chase where Tyler has to fight and kill many of the armed squad of pursuers while keeping Ovi safe. He has a brutal physical fight with Saju that goes down several floors and into the streets. Tyler is hit by a car, giving Saju a chance to kill several Bengalese police and grab Ovi, but Tyler hits Saju with a truck and takes Ovi with him, leading to another police chase. They get out before the car explodes, and Ovi helps Tyler, who is very wounded, limp away. When they find a safe place to hide, Tyler instructs Ovi on how to help him tend to his wounds. Nick calls Tyler and informs him that Saju is ex-Special Forces. She tells Tyler that they were played, that wanted the team to extract the kid but never intended to pay them. She gives him information on where an extraction point is that would allow him to get out of the city, and tells him he has to leave Ovi behind. He doesn't want to leave him behind and tells Nick to find him the money. Ovi overhears and remarks that Tyler, like his father, thinks of him more as a thing than a person. Meanwhile, an extremely wounded Saju also tends to his wounds, breaking his own nose back into place. He calls Nisa and says if she doesn't hear from him in 12 hours to take their cash and disappear. He has her put their son on the phone. As Tyler and Obi begin to head toward the extraction point, they are attacked by Farhad and several other child soldiers, now heavily armed by Asif. They put up a fight, but Tyler is able to subdue them and takes Ovi into the sewers to keep fleeing. He calls Nick for aid, who is dismayed he hasn't ditched Ovi, and tells her to call Gaspar. Gaspar arrives, picks them up, and takes them to his home. He and Tyler have a drink, and Gaspar tells him that getting out of the city will be incredibly difficult. Farhat loses a finger for his inability to get Tyler, and he pleads with Asif to let him take another shot at Tyler, telling him Tyler made him look like a fool. Back at Gaspar's, Ovi apologizes to Tyler, saying it's his fault Tyler almost died. Tyler tells Ovi it's only his own fault. Ovi calls him brave and asks Tyler if he has a family, and he tells him he had a wife who he hasn't seen in a long time, and a son who died a few years ago of lymphoma. He was in Afghanistan when his son died, having gone voluntarily, unable to bear watching his son die. He tells Ovi he isn't brave at all. Later, Gaspar tells Tyler that there's no way Ovi can get out of Bangladesh alive. Asif will never let it happen. He tells him the best thing for Ovi might be to mercy kill him now rather than let Asif have his way with him. He tells Tyler the bounty is $10 million and urges Tyler to just give up the kid, who reveals he's made a deal with Asif $10 million. They both get alive, and they give up the kid. He tells Tyler he doesn't have to kill Ovi. They'll do it, and that he's saving Tyler's life. The two have a brutal physical fight, and before Gaspar can bash Tyler's head in, Ovi enters with Tyler's gun. Ovi shoots him twice, killing him. Tyler comforts him as he cries. Tyler calls Saju and arranges a meeting, telling Saju he just wants to get Ovi out. Saju tells Tyler how Mahajan threatened his family. Tyler tells him he will draw the enemy's fire in order to give Saju a chance to get Ovi to safety. Tyler blows up a vehicle and then lays down gunfire, giving Saju and Ovi a chance to make a break out of the city in a car. But when they get caught in traffic, they are forced to continue on foot. When they are stopped by the police, Saju gets into a firefight with them. Tyler engages in his own battle with enemy forces, while Nick arrives armed up with her team to the extraction point and takes out an enemy helicopter with a rocket launcher as Asif watches from afar in horror. Saju tries to clear a path to get Ovi across the bridge but gets pinned down, so Tyler rushes in to begin taking out the enemy forces. Saju is shot in the head by a sniper and killed, leaving Ovi alone. Nick manages to snipe out the sniper, and Tyler gets most of the ones on the ground, but he is gravely wounded, taking us back to the beginning of the film. He imagines his son as Ovi arrives and holds his hand, crying. Tyler directs him to run to the helicopter as Ovi begs him to get up. Eventually, Ovi runs for the helicopter. When the coast is clear, Tyler gets up and heads for the extraction, but a bullet rips through his neck as Nick and Ovi look on in horror. The shooter is revealed to be Farhad, who Nick shoots at but manages to escape. Ovi runs for Tyler but Nick holds him back. Tyler remembers his son before falling off the bridge into the water below. 8 months later, Ovi has returned home to India, while Asif remains in power in Bangladesh. Asif enters a bathroom when Nick enters and shoots him in the head, then multiple times as he lays on the ground. Ovi dives into a swimming pool and surfaces. As Ovi comes up from the water, a man appears to be watching Ovi from outside the pool. So, which movie recap do you guys want us to create for you? Let us know in the comment section down below. That's all for this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification for more amazing content. Thanks for watching.